Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Zach, and I'm here commentating over some more local games on the behalf of Whirlwind Games. If you want to check these games out live, we do stream our Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals every Wednesday and Saturday over at twitch.tv/WhirlwindGames, along with other product opening and other TCG games such as Digimon, Pokemon, Flesh and Blood, and just pretty much anything else interesting going on down at the shop. So if you want to check it out, there will be a link down in the description, and we'd love to have you in the chat. And guys, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into this week's Round 1 feature match. We have Drew on the left playing the Punk Therion deck, and on the right we have Trevor playing the Monarch deck. You'd love to see it. Looks like Trevor will be going first, starting with a copy of Ida. I believe that's how you pronounce that. Its effect will let him summon one from the deck with 800 attack and 1000 defense, but that will be met with a Veiler. Stopping that first effect for Monarchs is really huge, so they can't get any of their actual plays going. They'll pass it over to Drew, and it looks like he has a lot of Therions in hand, but he does have Xiamen, so Xiamen effect will pay 600 life points for cost, and if it resolves, we will be able to add any Punk monster from the deck and add it to our hand. And it looks like it does resolve, getting him a search for Foxy Tune, a great piece for the Punk engine. He'll add that to his hand. Next up, we're using an Ogre Dance. This will let us add any Punk monster from the deck to the hand that isn't level 8. Grabbing a copy of Deer Note, one of the more key pieces for the whole engine to work. Next up, we'll use the effect of Deer Note in hand, pitching the Foxy Tune to special summon it. And from here, we do have access to a Synchro 8 play. Looks like we are going to go ahead and Synchro off into a copy of Chaos Ruler. Chaos Ruler, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Deer Note, revive the Xiamen. And it looks like we are revealing some really good cards off of the Excavate. We'll send the rest to grave, adding an Effect Veiler to hand. There was a Regulus in the mill, so that does make the rest of his Therions in hand live now. That looks like Duke, so Duke will equip the Regulus, giving him an Omni Negate. Then we'll go straight into Hauk using Xiamen and the Chaos Ruler. Halkify Rex will be able to summon a tuner from the deck, opting to choose Jet Synchron here. And then we will link these two off into a copy of Unicorn. Unicorn effect, we will shuffle that back into the deck, pitching the other Therion from hand, and then Jet Synchron effect, discard the Veiler, and then we will link these two off into a copy of Access Code Talker. Access Code Talker effect will be able to target the Unicorn in grave to then be able to gain 3000 attack because of the link rating, summon back the Chaos Ruler by banishing a Light and a Dark, and then just punch for game right there. And that does it for game 1. Let's go ahead and hop into game number 2. Alrighty, and hopping into game number 2, it looks like Monarchs will be going first this time. Yet again, let's hope that they can actually establish some type of play and not get blown out of the water so quick. Starting off with the Pot of Desires. Either the hand's really good, or we are just trying to get all of our options. Banishing the top 10 cards of the deck. Hopefully it goes through. Getting the thumbs up from Drew. Looks like he will be drawing 2 cards. Activating a copy of Pantheism of the Monarchs. This allows him to send 1 Monarch spell or trap from his hand and draw 2 cards. Sending a copy of Prime Monarch. And then next up, scaling a copy of Ankama. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not too sure on the wording, but if you have no cards in your extra deck, you can scale this and then destroy it, draw 1 card. And then you can also summon this from your extra deck if you have no other cards in your extra deck, and you can summon it back to the field, but banish it when it leaves the field. Great little bit of tribute fodder, and also just kind of an upstart goblin for Monarchs. So we will do just that. We will tribute it off for a copy of Vanity's Fiend. We will set 1 card. And we'll pass it over. We will activate a copy of Lightning Storms, declaring monsters, and we will destroy the Vanity's Fiend. That is soul crushing. Okay. We will normal summon a copy of Xiamen, paying 600 to search the deck. Will this be met with a hand trap this time? A copy of Gamma. We do have the Ash Blossom in hand to stop this, but then he still has the Gamma and he can just Gamma the next thing we do. It looks like we will let the Gamma go through. Hopefully he still has the driver in deck, because he did not check his banish after activating Pot of Desires. And this technically be illegal if he does not appear to have it in the main deck. It looks like it did get banished off of Desires. Just double checking. Also revealing to his opponent that he banished the driver and the other two Gammas. So this will go back to his hand, and Xiamen will resolve. Adding a copy of Deer Note. We will activate a copy of Dimensional Barrier at res. That does throw a wrench into a lot of the plays that Punk wants to do, but they're not completely out of the water yet. They still have plenty of lines they can do with a lot of Link monsters, and also they have access to Zombie Vampire if they can stick 2 level 8s on field. It looks like Drew is not going to overcommit his hand. We're going to go ahead and just attack with Xiamen and pass it back over to Trevor. Looks like we'll be using the graveyard effect of Pantheism. So what we do is we banish this card from the grave as cost, and we can reveal 3 Monarch spell or traps from the deck. And then the opponent randomly picks one and we add it to our hand. Looks like we are going to let this go through. Not too sure what could potentially be in deck after the Desires. Possibly 3 ofs are most likely non-existent in the deck now. Hopefully we can still get something good off of this. And off of the effect, we are going to be revealing a copy of Pantheism, a copy of Escalation of the Monarchs, and a copy of the Prime Monarch. I have actually never seen Escalation. So once per turn during the opponent's main or battle phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon 1 monster. So that's actually not too bad. But it looks like Drew will be picking the Prime Monarch to give to the opponent, making sure he doesn't have the draw 2 with Pantheism. And let's see what Trevor does from here. Next up, we'll activate a copy of the Monarch Stormforth. If you guys remember back in True Draco format, this card would basically let you tribute over your opponent's stuff since everything was a 1 tribute. Looks like he's going to banish the Monarch Stormforth to bring back the Prime Monarch. Does he have a monster for 2 tributes? It looks like it was just to wall up. Alright. Passing it back over to Drew, we'll go ahead and use the effect of Ogre Dance from hand to be able to add a Punk monster from the deck to his hand. He'll use the effect of Deer Note to special it by pitching the Foxy Tune. And then we will synchro off into a copy of Chaos Ruler, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Deer Note, revive the Foxy Tune. We will now mill the top 5 cards of the deck. Adding a Veiler off of that. But we do have 2 level 8s on the field, so we are able to make a copy of the Zombie Vampire, which when we can detach 1 and make both players mill the top 4 cards of their deck, and then we get to summon 1 monster that was revealed this way. Usually you want to try to summon a tuner, in case you haven't gotten into your Hulk lines yet. It can also just fuel your graveyard if you didn't have a Dark off of the original Chaos Ruler mill. So it looks like we will be picking our own copy of Lily, and then sending the rest back to the graveyard. We'll use Lily's effect to discard a spell, to then grab the Disc Coliseum. Disc Coliseum effect on play. We'll be allowed to add any Therion monster from the deck and add it to hand. And then we'll use Regulus in hand, special it, equipping another Therion from grave. We will normal summon a copy of Ash Blossom, linking off the Lily and the Ash Blossom into Halqifibrax. Hulk effect will be able to summon a copy of Jet Synchron. We will link these 2 off into a copy of Unicorn. And then Jet Synchron's effect in grave will discard a card, special it back, and then link the Unicorn and the Jet off into access code gain 3k, and then access code effect, banish the Unicorn to pop the Prime Monarch. And that will do it. Punk Therion taking this 2-0. Guys, if you enjoy this type of content, please let us know down below. Leave us a like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, we'll see y'all later. Peace out.